What's going on, Wellthy fam? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Palantir update video, ticker symbol PLTR, where we take a look at how Palantir stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Palantir stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Palantir are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let me go ahead and hit record. We'll get right into the video. So we actually had ourselves a small red day, down about 17 cents on the day, which is about 0.73%. That came on a day where the NASDAQ was flat, slightly red. The Dow Jones was down a little bit today. S&P was also flat / down. And the IWM, which is the Russell 2000s, was down 0.29%. So in relation to all that, right, we were also red on the day. So nothing to really, nothing too crazy going on in either direction. Took a little breather from kind of the push up that we had seen over the past couple of days. And hopefully, it's a one red day rather than a continuation of a red day. So real quick, I want to cover some articles. So yesterday we talked about the $89.9 million contract that Palantir got over the next 5 years and how that was going to impact the stock. And then what I also want to talk about is something that they talked about coming up in the April 14 demo, which is a week from tomorrow. So what they're talking about here is, all the industries that it can affect, and how these customers rely on the Foundry platform to optimize operations and maintenance, forecast network health, and respond to unexpected events. So that's what we're talking about here, you guys. This other article also talks about, additional details that they are going to show on the DoubleClick Demo Day event on April 14th, which is chain model simulations, unmatched range of analytical computations, dynamic orchestrations without trade-offs, and a couple other things. Now, they're really focusing on the Foundry platform here today, which is great overall, because that if they can kind of show the capabilities of everything that Foundry can do, including new features, hopefully they can, get more customers. Now, one thing we have to understand is that the target demographic is not you and I. We can look at, Demo Day and go, wow, that was kind of boring like it was last time. But the key here is what these big companies think. These big companies that either have, already a contract with Palantir and could potentially have a bigger contract or a longer contract, or it's companies that Palantir has not necessarily, done business with yet, but maybe we see that, in the future they'll do that. So hopefully, a week from tomorrow, we see a little bit of a run into that. We're down a little bit on the day, but let's take a look at future levels of support, future levels of resistance, and we'll see what we see. So pretty flat our aftermarket yesterday, pre-market today. We were hitting up against this 2362, and I definitely thought we were gonna, maybe see a push up towards it. But as we see right out of the gate, we went from kind of this 2360s all the way down to 2283, and then we kind of hit up against VWAP a couple times, finally broke above it, unfortunately came below it again, but ended the day above it. So what I do like about the day is that we ended above VWAP. There was a lot of volume there at the beginning in the sell-off, but we got a little bit of a recovery from there. We didn't end near end of day, right? 2283, 2227, recovered a lot and ended the day above VWAP. What I don't like, obviously, is that we did not even attempt at this level after kind of the beginning of the day. So now let's take a look at our daily chart and we'll see what we see. So if you've been with me for a while, we were looking at this breakout. We got that, took us from the mid 20s to low 30s. The next couple of days took us to 45. Then we sold off and ran into earnings. With earnings, we got a surprise loss, so that dropped the stock. The overall market was selling off, so that obviously dropped the stock. And third thing is that, the Palantir executives were able to now sell their shares. So great volume in the market, great selling pressure on the stock. All three of those factors took us down to the low 20s, and we've been we recovered since then. We came back down. Now we're starting to maybe come right back up. So let's talk about future levels of support, future levels of resistance. So as you could see, today is the first day after kind of 4 days where we made a lower high and a lower low from the day before. So that's not a good thing, but hey, it needs to take a little bit of a breather, and hopefully it gets the momentum to start going up again. RSI is looking better than it has previously in the 44s. Target would be kind of 50s based on these recent highs. So we'll see if we get that in the next couple of days. First level is this 23.62, right? Remember that we hit up against that at the beginning of the day. Unfortunately, could not sustain it, so we dropped below it. And then 24.08 is the next level. And then we've got 25.39. One thing to understand is that a lot of people have been bag holding Palantir, and so every time it goes up, we're seeing a little bit of selling pressure. That's totally normal. You know, people that maybe bought in the mid to high 20s that don't necessarily want to hold it long term will, you know, maybe sell once it gets back up to those levels. So we're seeing resistance at 23.60, we're seeing resistance at 24, but hopefully once we can get above these levels, we can make a push towards the 25 level. On the downside, we've got support here at 22.48, and then we've got support at 21.50. So real quickly, what I want to cover is, you know, I really want Palantir to make a push towards the 89 EMA, which is at $23.80. Hopefully we can get above that in the next couple of days. So that would kind of be my first target, 23.80s. And then once we can get above 23.80s, then I want to kind of push towards this, you know, 34 and 55 EMA in the high 24s, low 25. So those are my two targets for this week, depending on how Palantir does. Hopefully we see a little bit of a run into not earnings, into demo day. That's happening a week from tomorrow. That could really take the stock, you know, in the mid to high 20s, but we'll see kind of how these resistances hold up before we get to that level. The other thing that I kind of consider is that you know, we're coming up, and so far twice we've gotten rejected at the 20-day moving average. So that would kind of be a line that I watch closely as well. That's right now right at $24. So it'd be kind of a good point to see, you know, what the stock does at that level. The 50-day moving average is all the way at 27.68, so it gives us a little bit of a run room once we can get above this level before we are kind of running into that level of resistance. Okay, so what I want to kind of share is I'm still holding my Palantir shares, still bullish on the company long term. You know, if it returns to the mid 30s, that's about a 57% return. If it returns back to 40, that's about a 71% return. And if it gets up to 45, that's about a 90+% return. So great potential for Palantir. I definitely think that, you know, I'm bullish on the company long term. Holding shares, leaps going out to 2022 and 2023. Selling some covered calls just to kind of make some money while I sit around and wait for the stock, as it's not really doing too much. So hopefully in the next couple of days we see a run into demo day. We maybe make into the $25, $26 range, even higher, see how we fare at the 27s if we can get up there, and kind of take it from there. So hopefully you guys have a great start to your week. I know it's been 2 days, green day and a little bit of a red day. So hopefully we see the green days continue for the rest of this week. We run into double demo day, and then if we see what we saw last time, we'll see a little bit of a sell-off, but hopefully you know, they do a little bit better job in appealing to the mass public as well. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Palantir are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.